Hi there, Marisa Murray with another self-coaching tip, and this is a framework that I think you'll find really helpful when you find yourself stuck trying to figure out what to do next, or actually you find yourself kind of avoiding doing something that you absolutely need to do, but you can't get yourself in momentum or in flow or even like starting the process. And I think the easiest way for me to show this to you is for us to just do an example. The exercise is called Act, Fact, and Interpret. And basically what we're going to do is I'm going to describe the situation and try to determine whether or not what I'm describing in my thinking patterns around this situation is a fact or if it's an interpretation. And when we refer to interpretation, it means is it in the future, because we know we can't interpret the future, so it's like a prediction. Is it an opinion? Is it based on something, a presumption of something in the past? So that's what we're going to put in the interpret bucket, and because it's an interpretation of events. And then we're going to put the facts in the fact bucket, and we're going to leave the act bucket empty for now. So let me just throw this framework up here and we'll just do a demonstration because I think that's the easiest thing. So say for instance, 2 weeks ago, I finished an important meeting with a very senior potential buyer of my services. And the meeting went really well. We seemed to have engaged really well. He said that he was interested, that he would refer me to the particular department head. I indicated I would follow up. And now 2 to 3 weeks have gone by and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I've sent follow-up emails. So now I'm thinking like maybe it didn't go that well, or maybe they don't have any needs, or maybe it didn't resonate after all, or maybe I'm just annoying him with all my follow-up, or maybe he doesn't really think I'm that differentiated. So now you can see how we've gotten things in our fact box and things in our interpret box. And you can tell that what's causing the spin for me is actually all the things in the interpretation box. And so the interpretation box is where we're going to actually just sort of like put an X over, and we're going to plan our next action with just the facts. So what's liberating is once you document your interpret, then you can really not let it influence you in terms of how you start planning your action. So from the facts, in terms of the meeting went well, he said he would refer me to his department head, I said I would follow up. Now what do I want to do? And we focus the session on figuring out what are the next action. And in my case, it's I'm going to call him again. Based on that box, I'm going to call him again. But based on some of the stuff in the interpret box, I probably would be kind of paralyzed or putting it off or kind of negative about it. I'll give you another example. Say, for instance, you've been handed a very, very difficult budget. And it's very stressful because the company is resource constrained and is trying to cut costs across all different areas. And so this may be sort of the dialogue that you would hear. I got this plan, the company needs this plan, the plan's, a top-down plan. It's not achievable. It doesn't take into account the progresses we made last year. It doesn't appreciate the complexity of the work that I do, et cetera, et cetera. And then you look, what's interpretation, what's fact, and then what do I want to plan my action based on? And in this case, what's fact is the company needs this. It's a top-down plan, and it doesn't take into account last year's progress. And so the act in this case is probably I need to build my bottom-up plan. I need to figure out where we already made reductions last year. And so it's kind of frees you up, if you kind of get the sense of the exercise, frees you up from some of the unhelpful noise in your head against planning your next action. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please share it. And please try out your act, fact, and interpret this week. Take care.